Well, Hellfire, I just rocked the riff, and I'm back with another Metalhead Envy. And I'm trying to figure out what's best in the sense of responding to comments and showcasing, or not showcasing, but responding to comments and listening to those suggestions, and then also trying to show a little bit what I've listened to on a daily basis. So maybe that people that keep up with me will kind of understand some of the things I say better, if that makes any sense at all. But Northlane has released a new single, and at the time that I'm looking at it, 6 hours ago, and I really loved Northlane's album Alien. To me, that was a very good blend of like hip hop and metal and just the EDM scene. It was a good electronic metal album, and I really digged it. And so far, what I've heard from the newer album that's coming, I liked it a lot too. And so Carbonized is one that, of course, if I had noticed later on when I got in my car to go do errands, that's what I would normally listen to it. But I haven't listened to it yet, and I saw that it was up on YouTube's feed for me. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do a reaction and let's check out what we got going on for Northlane's Carbonized. Okay. Matrix. These dudes do some cool electronic stuff. What is he saying? Mirrors and smoke, hit it with a fresh coat. If the shit floats, run it through the main line. Sugar sweet with a bitter beat, strip the pain, don't just bring. Bam! Remains no blind. That shit is bumping. That's what I'm saying. Northlane does a very good mixture of electronic and just very groovy riffing and drums and everything. I'd probably say my favorite Northlane song that I don't know a shit ton of their discography. I really only know Alien really well. The stuff before that I never dived into. But they have a song called Enemy of the Night that is just fucking one of my top 20 songs of all time. I love that fucking song, and so far I'm really digging where we're going with Carbonized here. Now your terror's at an end, disappear into the wind, never to be seen again. We're wearing idle lies, pretending we're outside. It's not a reflection of what it glorifies. And for now, once the sun comes out, you'll be carbonized. You're making shadow shift like an incubus. You'll be carbonized. It's such a lie. I've been talking to my conscience. All right. So I dig the intro and the verse. The chorus is, of course, is not bad at all. I'm not saying that none of them are talented. It's just I think I've heard Northlane do that before, which is cool. That's their wheelhouse, and it sounds great. I'm just hoping within 3 minutes and 42 seconds that we go somewhere a little crazier, add just a little bit more up to it in certain sections. I'm hoping this second verse changes up just a hair. It's my brokenness of conscience, training my instincts to be cautious, to remember that you're toxic. We're wearing idle lies, pretending we're outside. It's not a reflection of what it glorifies. Carbonized. Yeah, okay. And see what's funny, the hip hop in me, that makes me think of the DJ scratch, like that, or I can't even imitate the sound, but a DJ scratch is what it makes me think of. I looked up to you.
But you look down on them, predatory through and through, and you call yourself a man. And you call yourself a man. And for now, once the sun comes out, you'll be carbonized. You're making shadow shifts like an incubus. You'll be carbonized. It sounds alright. For now, once the
Okay.
sun comes out, you'll be.
What's funny to me is all I'm thinking of is it's like I'm a big, I would say Deftones was probably one of the first uh rock bands that I super got into outside of classic rock and Metallicas and all that. Like younger me, Deftones was the first band I was like, this is my band. And it's not passed down from my dad or my cousin or my brother or my sister. It's not something that they introduced to me. It's something I discovered on my own and just fell in love with. And so then now, 15 years later, I really do dig bands that to me sound like Deftones is part of their formula. Like this to me is very tonesy but heavier. I mean, more modern guitar tones and the screaming's a little bit better. And I don't know. Maybe that's why I tend to really get into these groovish, super groove metal songs. But I like this track so far. I think it out of everything I've heard from Northlane, it's a little more generic than what I hoped for. Because it started off and I was like, oh shit, we're gonna get some crazy cool shit. But now it's kinda went a little too generic for me. But it's still not a bad song at all. I don't want Northlane fans that see this to take it as me talking shit. I'm just saying compare this track to every track on Alien and it's a little tame. Just a little bit tame. The music video is cool though.
You're making shadow shift like an incubus. You'll be carbonized. I've got no heroes anymore.
I love their tone though. Yeah. Crazy cool guitar tone for me and bass tone. Like it's actually if somebody told me that Northlane didn't really use guitars and they just had bass players with distortion, I'd believe it because it's such a low tone. See if I can find a cool close up. That's not bad. And I like the music video. It's funny, I've been preaching to my buddies in my band. I'm like, man, we need to do a house party music video, but that's closer to where what's I've always pictured in my head is doing like a super like you gotta have a shit ton of people in every room. And part of the effects of them materializing and dematerializing, that was cool. And then the laser lines, that's really cool. The whole Matrix vibe, which is the first Matrix is like one of my favorite movies still to this day. If that's not in most people's or most action sci-fi fans top five, they're fucking crazier than hell. But that was a fun track. I love their tone. I think their vocalist, their front man, is fucking spectacular. Dude's got mid, lows, high screams, cleans. I haven't heard much that he can't do. And that drummer getting his little spurt there at the end, you could tell that he really wants to do a little more sometimes. Maybe it's just me pushing my drummer onto other drummers, and I know how he is, and he's always like, he's like, man, if there's any chance I get that I can actually like flare something up a little bit instead of a common rudiment or whatever you call them, he takes it. Mm. I'm still excited for this album. Carbonized is catchy. There's a couple other tracks on the album, like Plenty. I like Plenty. That was a really good one. And then I like Echo Chamber a lot. Basically, I haven't heard a weak single come from this album just yet. And so I'm still excited for it. I don't know if it's going to top Alien for me. Which, if you haven't listened to the album by Northlane called Alien, it's fucking fantastic, man. That's one of those from one to the end. Just let that album play. It's like a perfect DJ metal kind of thing. But I turned a 3 minute and 42 track, 3 minute and 42 second track into a 10 minute, 11 minute reaction. So with that being said, stay positive, stay rocking, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.